seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. We have a liftoff. Liftoff on Apollo 11.
On May the 25th, 1961, at the height of the Cold War, John F. Kennedy made what would be one of the most significant speeches of his brief presidency.
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal, before this decade is out, of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
He declared his full presidential support of his goal on putting a man on the moon by the end of the decade and returning him back safely to Earth. In an address to a joint session of the United States Congress, Kennedy gave a historic speech that set the United States on a course towards.
John F. Kennedy brought the Cold War into space. The mission to plant a man on the moon before the Russians, which eventually consumed the largest financial use of any nation. Kennedy saw the lunar landing challenge as a way to defeat the Soviet Union and to show the world the strength of a free.
The flight of the Apollo 11 spacecraft was the peak of many years of planning, working, constructing, and testing. The great Saturn V rocket and the compound Apollo 11 spacecraft had been assembled together and moved.
A giant rocket, more than 300 feet tall, made of new metal alloys, some of which have not yet been invented, capable of standing heat and stresses several times more than have ever been experienced, said Kennedy. This invention and construction of a new material was a revolution and change in technology, allowing the rockets to break the Earth's atmosphere, accomplishing the goal of putting a man on the moon. The rocket's technological advancements boosted further innovations on rocket designs and computers we use today. It was a symbol.
July the 16th of 1969, NASA's 11th Apollo mission blasted off from the Kennedy Space Center, carrying 3 astronauts on its journey to the moon. 38-year-old Neil Armstrong from Ohio is in charge of the mission. Accompanying him are astronauts Edwin Buzz Aldrin, who piloted the lunar module, and Michael Collins, piloting the Apollo command. 5 days later, as the world watches with great suspense, astronauts Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin became the first to walk on the surface of the moon.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
As astronaut mission commander Neil Armstrong stepped out of the lunar lander, 600 million people from all around the world, 1/5 of the world's population, watched it live on television. Knew that this was an important event taking place, putting aside that they were doing, and shared the moment together. This unique moment brought unity and was an escape from news of the Cold War. However, only for a brief.
Once on the moon, Armstrong and Aldrin spent about 2.5 hours exploring the surface. They collected 47 pounds of surface material to be returned to Earth for scientific.
Apollo 11 then became the first manned mission to land on the moon. A space flight, part of the space race, done by NASA, which sent the first 2 human beings on the surface of the moon. It had completed the plan set by Kennedy in 1961.
However, not everyone is convinced that this historic journey actually happened. Numerous theories have called into question the photographic evidence that has attracted the world. Supposed discrepancies and the lack of similarities within the footage of the moon landing caused some to believe that the landing never took place. Although scientists have sufficiently backed up and rebut the charges of a fake moon landing, there are people who still refuse to trust the evidence. The moon landing also brought disagreement in the objectors, as they wondered why the money used wasn't going to feed hungry people or to end the war, and did not see what the landing offered mankind. Not everyone sees and views the moon landing as a positive event. With war and tension happening within the world, numerous amounts of people saw the race to the moon as a waste of natural resources and not having any